It's now time for Energy Insights, where you get an inside view and local perspectives of all the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley. This program is being brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association and can be heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. on local radio WMOA AM 1490 and ESPN radio WJAW FM 100.9 and AM 630. It's now time for the show. Here's Johnny Wharf, your local host.
Another edition of Energy Insights brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association, and we're joined once again on the program, and thankfully John Triplett, partner in the law firm Tyson Brock here in Marietta. And I want to touch a little bit as we jump right into this about the local producers and as it pertains maybe to manufacturing and investing as the business ebbs and flows.
Sure. Well, one of the interesting things we have here, everyone thinks of the local producers, the many cases multi-generational families who have tended the land and tended the wells, provided the free gas, tried to make a living for them, their pumpers, their employees. But we also have some pretty interesting industries here locally. I mean, we have a couple of companies, Rampco being a good example. They've been affiliated with the oil and gas industry for a long time. They actually started historically because the company that they grew out of was leaving Marietta. So a group of the key people from Ramp decided to stay here and formed Ramp Company, and they work in all aspects of other things, but they provide parts, drill bits, things like that to the oil industry as well as water wells.
Paul Fulton, by the way, one of my first radio sales, so that'll take me back a day or two as well.
There you go. and the multi-generational aspect, Mark's still sitting out there in a new building, new to his father, but he's still out there.
Sure. That's great.
And so you look at another companies like EDI, Electronic Design for Industry. You know, their products ship at least nationally, and I suspect around the world. Again, tied directly to the oil and gas industry and providing work and jobs here in Marietta. That company started here, and it continues to grow out.
So from the Tyson Brock aspect, and we look at the business dealings, and anybody can go to your website, tysonbrock.com, and see all the things that you cover. But as it pertains to oil and gas, you're not just out there doing the leased land deals.
No, we're involved in a lot of aspects. I would almost say all aspects. About the only thing we don't do that would touch the oil and gas is we don't do public offerings. If somebody wants to go to Wall Street and raise a bunch of money, we're not going to file those things for you with the Securities and Exchange Commission. We know folks who can, happy to put you in touch with them. But we often work with the businesses related to the industry. We work with many of the local producers, and we do work with landowners depending on the issue and frankly, who they're fighting with or not fighting with.
Okay, so, and I'm not trying to load a question here, but so if there's, let's just take that person out there that did the deal. They got the land rights and the lease money, and then there's the other person that said, I'm going to hold out. And now they're kicking themselves because they wish they would have done something. Well, how do you feel about that, and is it going to come back around?
I think it does come back around. The question is how much, how fast, and when does it get here? I mean, if you look at the folks at Shale Crescent, they absolutely believe it's going to come around, and they're the folks that know. They know the rocks better than anybody. And so in this area, yes. When the boom was really in its dither, they just, any acre will do. And depending on what township you lived in, depending on how much. But as one of my oil and gas clients pointed out as a geologist, dinosaurs didn't always lay down neatly on county lines, on township lines, and on state lines. Now the purchasing will still go on, but it'll be more selective.
All right. John Triplett is our guest once again, and we thank him for joining us on Energy Insights here on the radio, brought to you each and every Saturday morning by our good friends at Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association.
Thank you for listening to Energy Insights, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. on WMOA and ESPN Radio WJAW as Johnny Wharf brings you your local and inside perspectives of the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley.